Hi everyone, welcome to Difference Frames the World. We're excited to have you here as we share our viewpoints from a different angle. Today we are discussing Beijing's crackdown on negative emotions, part of a national campaign to remove social media posts that don't align with official narratives. Before we start, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you will not miss our uploads every day. On October 1, 2025, the Chinese government undertook a sweeping new movement targeting a previously intangible enemy, negative emotions on social media. The Cyberspace Administration of China, CAC, is taking the leader position, which has triggered global debate about free expression online and increased concerns inside China about government control over personal feelings. The main concern is whether a government can really manage not only what people say, but also how they feel. The Chinese government claims the campaign is intended to support mental health and social stability, but critics view it as a troubling step toward even tighter censorship. What does it actually mean to treat feelings like pessimism, despair, or cynicism as problems to tackle? How did the government get to this stage, and what does it mean for young people, influencers, mental health advocates, and China's relationships with other countries? Please share your thoughts below so that other viewers can benefit from your insightful answers. Also, like and share the video with your friends, helping DFTW extend its reach. Before the campaign was officially launched on the 76th anniversary of the Chinese National Day, several influencers had been punished for making alarming remarks on social media. Zhang Xiefeng, a prominent figure with 30 million followers and a net worth of over $100 million, faced repercussions from the Chinese government due to his comments regarding the potential use of force in taking over Taiwan in late September 2025. When live streaming, he vowed to donate at least 50 million renminbi upon Beijing's first shot to recover Taiwan by force. His statements were viewed as controversial and went against the official stance typically held by the Chinese government, which prefers diplomatic solutions over military actions. As a result, he was subjected to various forms of punishment, from public censure to restrictions on his professional activities. This incident highlights the sensitive nature of discussions surrounding Taiwan and the strict control the Chinese government maintains over public discourse related to national policy and sovereignty. His accounts on China's major social media platforms have been suspended, affecting around 65 million subscribers. 10 days before Zhang Xiefeng's accounts were discontinued, another influencer, Hu Qinfeng, was restricted from publishing videos and posts on September 16, 2025. The suspension of their social media accounts has been widely reported on YouTube and other Western media outlets, with criticism of Beijing for allegedly violating online freedom of speech. Actually, they have long been notorious for spreading negative emotions and divisive thoughts, creating pressure among their audiences. For example, Hu Qinfeng categorizes mobile phone brands as symbols of social class, stating that Android users are from low-income groups, and that lesser college students have Android degrees. During his live stream, he created a detailed hierarchy of disdain, which spans academic qualifications and occupations to consumer habits. Android users drive Android cars and live in Android apartments, while Apple users shop at Sam's Clubs and eat at McDonald's. This rhetoric forcibly associates products with social status, sharply dividing the Chinese population into different groups based on their income levels. He even shows his contempt for low-income groups by saying, "People who earn 5,000 renminbi a month are not worthy of talking to me." Some netizens say the authorities should have suspended their social media accounts much earlier. While the CAC officially announced a 2-month national campaign to cleanse the internet of content that spreads negative emotions, like excessive pessimism, expressions of despair or hopelessness, misleading representations of hardships, among others, influencers, educators, live streamers, and youth-oriented platforms were among the first to be targeted. Prominent education influencer Zhang Xiefeng, as we mentioned above, was temporarily banned from Chinese platforms for allegedly spreading harmful emotional misinterpretation and misleading students and their parents. The CAC promised to apply positive energy and encourage content that is patriotic, uplifting, and socially responsible. Over the last 20 years, internet regulation in China has evolved from simple keyword filtering to sophisticated censorship driven by artificial intelligence. Today, targeting emotions marks a new level of psychological governance, as the internet has become the primary source of information for the Chinese people. President Xi Jinping's third term is being confronted with a period of economic uncertainty following the pandemic, and the government is attempting to exert more control by regulating not just what people say, but also how they feel. It is challenging to address problems that evoke negative emotions, so the government is committed to managing online discussions by restricting viral videos, memes, and posts that could incite unrest. Chinese influencers are at the epicenter of the crackdown. For years, they have been allowed to comment on social issues, as long as they do not strike a balance between honesty and self-censorship. Now, that balance is harder to maintain than ever. Influencers who previously shared stories about toxic work environments, academic stress, mental health issues, and personal failures are now being warned or banned if their content is considered emotionally dangerous. Douyin, the Chinese equivalent of TikTok, has been instructed to adjust its algorithm to reduce the prominence of sorrowful or loser content. The CAC vows to strengthen the netizens' mental health by protecting them from harmful emotional content. It may resemble Western efforts to curb social media harm, like Twitter and Facebook suspending Donald Trump's accounts. Still, some Chinese professionals warn that genuine emotional expression is wrongly portrayed as dangerous. Some experts worry that labeling negative emotions as problems could make the stigma around mental health worse and prevent people who are really struggling from speaking out. This concern is particularly relevant for students and workers. Even so, China's main social media platforms, such as Weibo, Bilibili, and Red Note, among others, have taken measures like shadow banning emotionally sensitive posts and auto-removing content related to negative emotions, including hopelessness, depression, or giving up. They are flagging accounts that consistently post emotionally vulnerable content. Some content creators have shifted their focus to promoting a more positive approach to work and life, telling stories that evoke a sense of national pride or sharing uplifting quotes. Sometimes they approach this with a hint of irony, while other times it seems they are simply trying to avoid deeper issues. The outcome is a forced positivity that many people find doesn't relate to their real-life challenges and struggles. Some Western media view the campaign as a philosophical shift, showing a major change in how the government redefines an ideal citizen. Now, it is not enough to be obedient and productive, people are also expected to be happy, hopeful, morally correct, and orally positive. In the past 2,000 years, influenced by traditional Confucianism, ancient China's rulers believed that emotions should be regulated for the sake of harmony. Many people, including common people and scholar officials, were executed because of their alleged evil thoughts. They did not commit any crimes, but they did think differently than they ought to. When Chairman Mao ruled China, emotions played a crucial role in political mobilization. Now, under Xi Jinping's presidency, Western media believe that emotions must serve the purpose of maintaining the social stability, and they must align with the official narrative of the state. Feeling despair is seen not only as a personal problem but also considered a possible political threat, as the internet can inflate a personal problem into a public event, evoking negative emotions or actions. A pebble, beautiful or not, is no longer a little stone when it is thrown into a pond, creating a ripple effect. When a housefly flaps its wings, a breeze circulates around the globe. It is not easy to stop the breeze around the world, but it is quite simple to squash a fly before its wings begin to stir. The Chinese government is not alone in doing this. In the United States, social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, permanently suspended Donald Trump's account on January 8, 2021, 2 days after Facebook, now Meta, blocked his Facebook and Instagram accounts. We hardly believe that the president-elect, Joe Biden, had done nothing to convince those two platforms to close his accounts, especially when Meta decided to extend the suspensions to 2 years several months later, under Biden's presidency. DFTW subscribers are also aware that Google's YouTube has a strict censorship mechanism in place to demote channels that do not follow its community guidelines. The year 2023 witnessed nearly 54 million removals of YouTube channels from the platform. DFTW had been demonetized for more than 2 years, putting us in severe financial hardship till today. Content creators need to follow rules, and the internet is not a utopia. If YouTube creators can change content to comply with the platform's guidelines, why is a big country, such as China, not deemed right to establish rules to regulate content within its own sovereignty. The campaign is not long-lasting and aims to warn certain platforms and influencers not to exploit their audience's emotions for personal gain. Some experts are worried that China is moving past traditional censorship and now monitors emotions, watching not just what people say, but also how they say it, and what they really mean, like a demanding parent tracking their children's daily activities. Some even wonder whether the country is reverting to the old path of the Cultural Revolution, which ruined China for 10 years. We believe that China will not return to that unfortunate period in its history. Some analysts maintain that this campaign might be a test case for integrating emotional artificial intelligence into governance, particularly as China leads in the development of emotion sensing technology through facial recognition, voice analysis, and behavioral tracking. It is not true. China does not have to take 1.4 billion people as test subjects. Also, it still takes a long time for the artificial intelligence to deal with metaphors or code words that the netizens use to express negative feelings. For instance, memes mocking forced positivity have quietly spread in niche groups. Writers and artists use satire, irony, and allegory to hint at censorship, echoing tactics from past authoritarian eras. The government is aware of this, and as a result, it passes the responsibility to platforms to screen such implications. More security jobs will be created to filter sensitive topics and negative emotions, contributing to the financial wellness of new hires. Many creators, at the same time, are afraid of being banned, fined, or facing even harsher consequences, especially after some well-known, anti-China, bloggers were detained earlier this year. They will cease to amplify their audience's negative emotions to generate additional revenue, as they did previously. The same is true on YouTube. After being demotivated for more than 3 years, DFTW is becoming more moderate in its commentary on the world's most powerful free nation in North America and the globe's most populous country in South Asia to avoid potential demonetizations. According to data from Statista, the number of removed channels from YouTube in 2024 was slightly below 29 million, a 47% decrease from the previous year. YouTube creators were more savvy in 2024 than in 2023, and we hope that in China, the internet will become cleaner after a thorough cleanup.